Welcome back to the Joke Zero podcast, where we talk about all things indie filmmaking. And this season, we are talking about Joke Zero's first feature film, Plan B, which is out now. You can rent it. You can buy it wherever you rent or buy movies, on Apple, on Amazon. And we're talking to everybody who was involved with the movie. So we're really excited for this episode. We have an actor from the movie. He played the role of Samuel, but he is also a man of many trades, which I can't wait to get into. We've got Blaise Ffrench on the pod. What's up, Blaise? How are you?
What's up, guys? What's up, man? It's a pleasure to be here, man. I love the podcast. I love what you guys are doing. So super excited.
Thank you. You know, as you said that, I was like, I gave a gorgeous info. I forgot to say I'm Anna Roisman, but I'm here. And we've got Brandon Tambori, our writer-director, also on the pod. So we're all hanging out right now. But Blaise, thanks for joining us. You're a Renaissance man, self-proclaimed Renaissance man, says it in the bio. You do so many things. And I have to say, you know, just to name a few so people know, you have been a sports agent, you are an influencer, you're an actor, you got your start, you've worked on other projects like on TV and stuff. So I just want to know, when young Blaise was born, like, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Yeah, well, when my mom, gave me the name Blaise Ffrench, I think the pressure was there already to live up to it. I knew I couldn't work at McDonald's with a name like Blaise Ffrench. So,
Absolutely not. There's like Louis Vuitton and then there's Blaise Ffrench. I
you
mean,
know,
that's it.
so the pressure was given there and kind of growing up in Queens, New York, where a lot of notables, a lot of entrepreneurs are from. So, the bar is set really high. So, I always just strive to be a billionaire and just a successful entrepreneur that kind of helps change the world. So,
And it didn't hurt that you were charming, good looking. You were like, I could also act. I could get into this game.
absolutely didn't hurt at all.
So I'm curious, like, how did you get your start, especially on the acting side? Like, you've done a couple of TV shows and stuff. What was like the first thing that you got into?
I would say, my uncle, his name is Irv Gotti, and he was big in the music industry. And I'm not musically inclined. I don't think, maybe. But, I went out to LA maybe in 2018 and I saw, actors and TV, and I kind of seen it come into life. And that's kind of what sparked my interest. And, I started doing some background stuff and just started grinding there and took some acting classes and you just started auditioning and I kind of fell in love with the business.
It's funny, Brandon and I have talked about background work because I did some when I first graduated college. I know Brandon has done some too. People look down upon background work, but you do get a taste of what it's like to be on set. And then it kind of drives you, I feel like, more to be like, well, next time I'm here, I'm going to have a line.
Yeah, it's a good way to kind of get your feet wet and dip your toes in it and see if it's something that you want. So definitely, I don't knock it at all, for sure. I don't know if I would do it now, but
Long hours for little pay, for sure. But you do get to see how something is made, which is cool, and all the jobs that, feed into like one production. Is there any like, what was like your first role or like set that you had like a bigger role than being an extra on that you could talk about that was like a cool experience?
I would say probably Marry Me with J-Lo and Owen Wilson.
Who are they?
Yeah, I know, right? I did some work on And Just Like That with Sarah Jessica Parker on the first season, which was super amazing. She was the first person I ever got like really starstruck with Sarah Jessica Parker.
She is Carrie Bradshaw. Anyone would be. That's so funny.
And the casting directors and everything loved me from that, so they pulled me into Marry Me with J-Lo. So I got to work in a scene as her co-worker, which was super amazing, just being from New York and how powerful J-Lo is. And she's kind of a Renaissance woman, actor, music and everything, businesswoman. So that was kind of like really motivational for me.
Did you get to say anything to her? Like, I've looked up to you, like you have a liquor brand, you have you've done all of these other businesses besides just being an entertainer.
She was really like on set. She was like, I could tell she wasn't on like no nonsense kind of thing.
Yeah.
But full circle moment, I helped start a sports drink company called Body Armor.
Congrats, by the way. That's awesome.
Thank you so much. And we ended up signing J-Lo kind of at the tail end of it before we sold the company. So then I kind of got to speak with her then and everything like that. So it always comes back around. She's from the Bronx. I'm from Queens. So it's like,
In my I lived in New York for many years, and I feel like Bronx people and Queens people, that's like the Jets versus, the Sharks, and like
I'm not gonna lie, we don't fuck with the Bronx like that.
yeah, but if you're on set with J-Lo, you're probably like, "Hi, it's me, I'm Blaise. Yeah, I grew up in the Bronx. Of course I did."
For J Lo, she's a exception to the Bronx for sure.
I love her. I would be very starstruck by seeing her. There are a few people I'd be like, "Whoa," like to be in a scene with.
But Sarah Jessica Parker was one for the books because I couldn't see her face. She came on with the thing covering her face, but I heard the voice and I was like, she has that iconic Carrie Bradshaw voice. So I was like, oh my God.
Back when I first moved to New York, I worked in a restaurant, and I'll never forget, we were like closed for like the night, and then all of a sudden Kim Cattrall like walked in. And she was like, "Are you guys still open? Can we still eat?" And I was so starstruck. I was like paralyzed. I'm like, ugh, take any table you want. And then they were so mad at me in the kitchen. They were like, "We closed." I'm like, "Samantha, you got to make her a steak. I can't handle it." I love that you worked on that show. That's amazing. Wait, so tell me about this company, your body armor company. How did you even get, like, did you wake up one day and you're like, I really want to like work in the industry?
I'll give you the elevator pitch on it. I went to Holy Cross High School in Queens, and I played on the basketball team, and they were like, "We're gonna take the basketball team over to meet a famous alumni from the school. He created vitamin water, and he just sold it to Coca-Cola for $2 billion." And I'm like, this sounds amazing. And then we get in the room, and all my teammates were sleeping. They didn't really care about a guy in the beverage industry, but I was like, this is amazing. Billionaire, but a guy who kind of just a regular guy. And I asked him for his number, called him every day, persistent, and we became really cool. He's my Italian uncle, Mike Rapoli. And when I was getting out of college, he was starting a sports drink company called Body Armor. And me being the Renaissance man that I am, I'm like, I've seen what he did with vitamin water. He's probably going to do the same thing with Body Armor. So, I started as an intern, like a background basically. And then I worked my way up to sales, marketing, field development, working with athletes, going around the country, and got equity in the company. And after 10 years, we ended up selling the company for $5 billion, which was super, super amazing. So
Oh my God.
that's kind of how I kind of got my start in the beverage industry and just in business in general, honestly.
That's amazing though, that like, I feel like that you had the mindset even as a teenager to be like, wait, what does this guy do? He sold his company for $1 billion. I'm going to call this guy I'm going to know this guy. I'm going to learn from this guy. Like, I feel like as a teenager, I'd be like, what are you taking me to come see? I have shit to do. I have to go get a snack. Like, I don't have time for this bullshit assembly or whatever, they make you do.
Yeah, I mean, there's just certain ones though. There's like these certain people that have like that it factor. You can't like kind of pinpoint what's so special about them. It's just like when they walk in a room, they have that aura. And I've been able to kind of find those people and like locate them. And I tend to think that I have some of that aura and stuff like that. So it attracts me. So I try to lean on that instinct and stand next to those people a lot.
Yeah, you never know where someone's career is going to go. We've talked about that on this, like who you meet, in like school or at a quick job or on something like this. You never know where someone's going to like land.
That's why I'm staying close to Brandon.
Yes, same.
Give me like a really big shot.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
So I want to know, how did you get involved in Plan B?
My manager, Justin Sardis, he's a kid from Long Island. He pitched me for it and I auditioned for it. And then Brandon took a shot on me and booked me for it. And it was in Brewery in New Jersey, right? Not Philly. It was like South Jersey. And so cool, so dope. Hopefully I get to work with you again, Brandon. So that would be amazing. And Anna, I hope, we work together again as well.
Yeah, we got to be in a scene together next time.
For sure.
That's the fun of movie making. No one knows each other if they're only on like a day or two, because you're like, oh, what part are you in? You know, did anything stick out on set for you, like when you were there working? Like any cool experiences that you had?
Jamie Lee, she was really, she kind of has that it factor and that special aura about her. So it was like really fun to watch her and Brandon kind of go back and forth and like kind of fix things and kind of come up with the right lines to say and stuff like that. Because just like in business, there's so many audibles being called and like, with body armor, we'd be like, change this. Every second it was a new different change. So to see Jamie Lee and Brandon kind of come up with the right things to say and like changing it on the fly is like really genius. So that was like really, really good to see firsthand, in the acting world.
We were talking about this on another episode, but Brandon, you gave actors like really just like a fun place to play where, if someone wanted to try something or the vibe was a little different than maybe it was on the page, like it's very exciting for people. They love that, and so it sounds like you got to experience that with Jamie a little bit.
Just to chime in a little bit about that on my end, it definitely was a lot of fun, especially the day that Blaise was on set. We were filming in a nightclub, and it was just a fun, really fun day of Jamie's character Piper interacting with all of these guys that she was potentially looking to get romantically involved with. And Blaise, being this tall, handsome, charismatic guy, was definitely someone that really catches Jamie's eye in the movie. I remember one thing in particular, we really were running out of time that day, just because it was such a long day of filming, and we had to. There's a nice shot. It ended up looking really great in the film, and it's really a wonder, which in the film industry is really just when you only have one shot, no cuts between everything. And it's a really nice shot of Jamie talking to the Maya character played by an actress named Suba, and Blaise is in the background. And it came out really nice. I was stressed about that while we were shooting it because, again, you can't really cut it all, but it ended up looking really nice.
Sua was funny. Sua was hilarious, actually.
Have you ever done comedy?
Not yet. I mean, I could say yes, I have, but not on this level. But it's definitely something I would love to get into for sure.
Well, you're very funny. You could easily do it. I meant to ask you before too about, so I dabble in the influencer world, but you've been doing a lot of partnerships and stuff. Like, how did you start in that as well? Like, or did all of this you were like, I like the camera. I have a big following. I could make this work,
Absolutely. Well, definitely always love the camera. Like anytime there's a camera around, I'm always like hip to it and knowing where it's at. But it just started, from my mom just wanting me to be an entrepreneur and kind of starting a sports drink company and seeing how much social media has changed businesses, and every business too. Like, social media has changed it from beverages, food to movies, infrastructure, anything you could think of. Social media is a big key. So I've kind of been able to lean into that. And, it's our generation. This is, grew up in it. Instagram started when I was in college, and then now it's turned into such a business. So I've been able to kind of speak the language to brands and know how to move the needle and know what it takes to build a brand. Yeah, it's been fun. It's definitely been fun.
Any favorite partnerships that you've done that you were like, that was a good one to land?
So my ongoing partnerships of like Aloe is one that I really love, that I keep close to my heart.
You and Kris Jenner. You and Kris are the faces of Aloe right now. How do I get in on it?
Well, you know me, so now I'll bring you in.
Oh my God. Tell them I've paid thousands of dollars for leggings from that place. Okay. I'm ready
They're
for it.
worth it. They're worth it.
They are. They last forever. They are.
That brand is amazing. So Aloe, Saks, we worked at Banana Republic, Puma. I feel like I've worked with like thousands of brands. Like you should see my house. I have like clothes to the ceilings, like drinks all over the place. Hugo Boss is over there. Who else we got? Bike companies love Saks. The Mets was a great one. They're all pretty fun because they're so different. That's what I get excited about. It's like how different my days are. Later today, I have to go shoot for a jewelry company, and Manscaped is also another good one that I love. I just enjoy life. I'm just having a good time with this stuff.
Totally. And it's sort of like, I feel like the word influencer has gotten like a bad reputation in the last few years, but like there are people who just stand there and are like, check out my shirt, it's by so and so. And then there are people like you who are like, no, I'm more creative than that. Like, I'll work with them ongoing. I'll do multiple videos or appearances, or you're like, I'm gonna flex and go do a movie like Plan B, and like, it's not just about the numbers and the product or whatever. You seem to get around.
You know what? You know what I was thinking earlier? I was on a plane early and I was thinking, because somebody said something about influencer. Like Jay-Z has influence. Like so many people have influence. And then I'm thinking like that doesn't make you an influencer. Like people are so quick to put a title over you, like really quickly. Like I was thinking, if you lie once, does that make you a liar? Like I'm not. I hate having those things under me. Like I'm a human. You know what I mean? Like I just enjoy so many different things, and I just hate the titles and stuff like that. Like
It's true, because influencer was birthed because there are people who are now growing up saying, I just want to be an influencer. And it's like, well, to do that, you got to be good on camera. You have to be confident. You have to have skills. You have to edit. You have to shoot. You have to light yourself. Like there's a lot more than just like standing there and telling them like, this is a great microphone.
for sure.
I wanted to know, like, do you have any dream projects that you want to do? Do you ever want to direct a film or produce a film, or like, especially in the film industry? I'm curious,
Definitely. I want to do a documentary on my Italian uncle, Mike Rapoli, the founder of Vitamin Water and Body Armor. Because I think he's super, super, super interesting and motivational and inspiring. And, he's a kid from Queens. I kind of want to run with that title, a kid from Queens. Brandon, if this is like getting you interested, I would love to have you involved to just kind of tell that story. He's an Italian guy. I grew up watching, Robert De Niro and Martin Scorsese. He's from Queens, Al Pacino. So that Italian mobster really resonates well with me. And he kind of has that. But he did it in a way where it's legal now. So, he's doing beverages. So I always say like, I do so many different things because I have a criminal mind. Like growing up watching all these mob movies and coming from Queens, they always say like the only way out is like selling drugs or doing it. So, kind of growing up, that was kind of my mindset, like thinking like a criminal, because they were kind of like the smartest people that I saw. And when I seen the likes of Mike Rapoli, an Italian guy, do it with beverages, I'm like, okay, you don't have to be a mobster. You could do it in the beverage way, and Coca-Cola will come along and buy your company for billions of dollars. So I want to do his story. So that's kind of like what I'm working on.
Well, you're in the right place. My boyfriend's a documentary producer. So if Brandon's too busy doing the next feature film, we'll connect you guys. But that's awesome.
We'll love that. Yeah. I think it'll be great.
It sounds like you really taken the people you've crossed paths with in your life and found the best in them and how that will inspire you. I love that. You're very positive in a negative world.
Oh man, that growing up in New York, everyone's so negative. So I just want it to be different. So just being kind makes you so much different. It's like so easy. Everyone's like, hey, I'm walking here, the New Yorker. So I took the approach of being kind, and it come from my mom. She's like, just be compassionate and be kind. And you stand out so much, just like smiling or ask someone how's their day and everything like that. But I want to give a quick story about Plan B, because just me being a single guy, right? And like dating in a dating world. And at the time I was living in LA, and I was working with these women and stuff. And we were talking about Plan B so much, like the pill Plan B, literally, right? Like so much. And, Justin calls me. He's like, yeah, I think you booked Plan B. Like it was so crazy how much I was saying Plan B, but I was speaking about the pill Plan B,
scientific Plan B,
the scientific Plan B. And then this happened. It was like no coincidence. It was like almost speaking it into existence kind of thing, which I'm a huge believer in. So yeah, it's crazy.
You manifested that, maybe not in a scarier way than you planned to, but
yeah.
You're walking down the aisles of CVS and they're like, you booked a movie, and you're like, oh shit.
I've been down those aisles. I'm not gonna lie. I've totally been down those aisles. But I thought that, I thought the movie was so genius, like to come up with that, because that is like real life. I'm single and I'm out here. I'm living in New York and California, and I'm going out and like seeing how the dating is going on. So that stuff happens. So like it's gonna resonate really well with people because this stuff is happening. So that was like genius to kind of bring it to life and to bring it on film. So I'm excited for people to see it. I think they're gonna get really excited about it.
Me too.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. I was just sorry to jump in, but I was just going to say that there's one thing I like to do while making movies is just try to make them feel as real as possible. And we don't have gigantic set pieces and cheap gags and things like that in the movie. Like a lot of these situations are what's funny in the movie. Like, wow, I can't believe I'm seeing this character do do this. It feels so real. So it's great to hear you say that.
Nah, definitely. It was just great to see someone bring that real stuff to life, man. So I appreciate that, man.
Totally. And I was going to say, it's also, I'm sure you've gotten asked this question or talked about this, Brandon, but like when you just brought up the whole plan B, that you were actually like looking for plan B, and then this movie dropped into your lap and it's called Plan B. I feel like if this were about a guy, though, trying to figure out his plan B, this movie wouldn't have the same kind of charm. There's something nice about the woman being like, she's like, well, maybe I'll just like find a guy who can like pretend to be the father. Like, I just think it's a funnier, I don't know, it's a funnier premise that it's the girl, because, otherwise it's a guy and, another player just looking to find another woman to put in his life.
Yeah, nah, true. It's a great spin to go with the women. I mean, I always say what women are the greatest and are the best, and I'm so for women and women's rights, and I'm the biggest supporter. So I'm super glad that you guys going with the woman to lead this.
Oh, yeah. Well, we got to shout out your mom. It sounds like she's had a major influence on your life, and she gave you the star name. So I think that's a lesson for everyone. Name your kid a perfect, like star celebrity name. And guess what? They're going to want to be a billionaire because
Yeah,
they
gonna
have to
have
be.
to. You got to live up to it, man. So definitely big shout out to Kim Irby, that's my mom, and also Linda Glover, my grandma, who's a big time hustler, and taught me how to hustle and be a Renaissance man as well.
I love that. Well, I'm excited that your mom and your grandma, hopefully they're able to see this movie, because I feel like it's exciting for parents to hear you do a movie, because, my mom doesn't care if I'm like, I did this Instagram ad. And she's like, what does that mean? They're like,
Yeah,
they don't get that. Movies family gets.
for sure. I don't want to be sad, but my mom did pass away when I was 15.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
You bring her legacy out. You really it's as if she's with us now, and we're hearing that she named you Blaise Ffrench. So
No, definitely. And it takes a village to raise a kid. So I have the whole New York City on my back. So I hope to make them proud. I can't wait to see this movie. So I'm super excited about it.
that's amazing. Well, I got to say, you're awesome. I'm so glad we got to meet.
You are as well.
Thanks for hopping on this and talking to us about the movie and life and your experience.
For sure. I gotta say thank you to Brandon, man, for giving me a shot and giving me an opportunity. It was amazing. And definitely thank you, man. I pray that I get to work with you again, man, for sure.
Yeah, no, my pleasure. Great working with you. Hopefully we work together again. Maybe it's on the on the Vitamin Water movie, so we'll see.
Yes.
I'm a producer on this movie too, guys. I drank a lot of vitamin water in my day. Okay, you tell your uncle.
Well, Mike Rapoli.
Mike Rapoli, yeah. Another good name. Another good name. It's all in the name.
Definitely. Oh, and I do got to just give a quick shout out to Siegelman Stables is a brand that I really, really enjoy working with. It's a streetwear brand. It's a hat company that has a horse on there, and it's so fire and it's blowing up. So that's one that I'm super, super excited about. Siegelman Stables.
Siegelman Stables taking down Ralph Lauren one hat at a time, right?
Absolutely.
There you go.
Definitely.
They can't be the only ones with a horse. We got this.
Come on.
Come on. Well, you're awesome. Where can people find you? Obviously, all over social media, but let them know, whoever's listening.
Yeah, you can find me at the Aloe Gym in New York and Flatiron, and the one in Beverly Hills. You could also find me on Instagram at Blaise Ffrench. LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. I answer all my DMs. I'm like super approachable and I love talking to people. So please reach out to me. And yeah, you can find me in Plan B. That's where you need to find me. So definitely go watch that, and super excited about it.
Amazing. Well, I'm going to email you every day until we get to work together on Aloe. So you've really inspired me and probably many other people listening to this. So
Let's do it. Do you do Pilates?
yeah,
Okay, it's done.
we'll chat. Brandon, thanks for getting me a job. Yeah, this is great.
Something really good coming out of this.
No, this is. Well, thanks so much for being on this. And remember, you can catch Blaise Ffrench in the movie Plan B, which is out right now wherever you rent or buy movies. And that's it. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.